Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here, coming to you live from Daytona Beach, Florida. It's always an opportunity to come in this on a Wednesday night evening to share this presentation. We want to welcome all of you that were here bright and early. I know Michelle Perrault from Mississauga, Ontario. You were here, I think, an hour earlier. Great to have you here. We have Marlene from Arizona. Great to have you here. We have Abudu. Great to have you from Ghana. Let's see here. We have Russo. Great to have you from New York. And we have Everton from Jamaica. Great to have you here. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have here, let's see, Scully. Great to have you here from Sweden. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Very nice to see you here. We have Mark Stevens. Great to have you here. We have Kendra. We have Bonnie. And let's see here. We have Bill Digital Legacy with Digital Growth. Great to have you here from New Guinea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Everton. We have, let's see, Scott. We have Tony. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Tammy, why don't we begin by sharing with the audience here, how did we get introduced to GotBackup?
Hey, well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session. Chris and I, we've been in the network marketing profession for many, many years, plus 25 years plus. And I had a lot of success in the industry, especially in the global market. So I get super passionate when I see the international presence here in the platform. We love the global market. And so Joel is a very good friend of ours. We've known him for 20 plus years. And we're going to kind of tell the story as we share the presentation this evening. Joel connected with us and was telling us about this GotBackup project that he was really passionate about. And that was about, it's almost 2 years now. April, it's 2 years. We're in April. Hello. Mm-hmm. The time goes so fast.
I know.
And we've been running with it ever since because it's something that everybody uses. It's at a price point that everybody can afford. And it's truly global. So we're super excited to be here.
Absolutely. And folks, the reason why Tammy and I really got excited is we have friends from all over the world with, knowing that the currency exchange has really impacted business in many different parts of the world. And we saw an opportunity where families can really take advantage of a global opportunity. And we'll talk to you about this just in a few minutes here. And we saw massive growth and possible success for anybody who's willing to put effort into all of this. So we really decided it's a time to turn dreams into reality. Look at these what beautiful pictures here on the bottom. You see the family on the far left here, where a father's showing off his brand new set of keys. They just bought this new home. What about vacationing where you want to, opposed to where you can afford to? Right? That's kind of a nice concept. What about having a new member of the family? We know right now with groceries, even buying diapers and baby food and anything that we consume on a daily basis. I mean, it's quite crazy what's going on right now. What if that was not an issue for you? What about retirement, folks? This is something that we don't think about where we're young, but as we mature in life and time, it's nice to know we have a nest egg that we can rely on and not wondering, do we have enough? Where this can continue to subsidize your retirement. And this is one of the things that some of the things that we saw when this was presented, and we'll continue sharing with you how amazing this is all about. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, and the big question is why are you here? Why are you passionate about learning about this program? And it's all about empowering families. Chris and I have truly a passion on helping people get to another level in their life so they can live the life they want, not the life that they have to. And, for years, Chris and I would just dream, and we had our vision boards and everything, but then we just got serious with the network marketing profession and really transformed our lives. And I know if we can do it, you can do it as well.
I agree, Tammy. I never forget, for me to be able to live in Florida during the winter, it was just a picture on the wall. Yeah. And we've been doing this for almost 13 years now, folks. Mm-hmm. This is what this industry has brought in. And not only us, folks, but thousands and thousands of people have benefited from this venture. And we want to tell you about GotBackup. Now, the company began in 1997 from Gatineau, Quebec. And this is where I met Joel. That's when I first was using the hosting service that he had. And I remember him telling me that they had so many customers that were using their services that they maxed out the bandwidth. That's think of on a super highway with a traffic. And what's happening is there's so many cars on the highway that people are bumper to bumper, even though you may have 16 lanes, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? What's happening is this is what we talk about when we talk about bandwidth with the internet. So he says, well, we need to move to the US. And he went to Texas in a 10,000 square feet data center, which, by the way, today, this is paid in full, folks. This is a debt-free company. That's one of the things we were very impressed with. And in fact, instead of me telling you the whole story, let Joel share the story. And let me kind of share with you the video that he prepared for all of us. Here it is.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I wanna explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm gonna code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So a couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure.
Now, obviously, you can see the rest of the video in your back office here, just waiting for the computer to come back here.
Yeah, and Chris and I were at the office about a week ago, so it was a lot of fun. We got a chance to see everything that we're seeing on the video. We finally got to see it in person. It was really cool.
Absolutely. It was really, really cool. And by the way, Carol, I mean, obviously, this is a presentation live, so it's very difficult to do with any customer support here. But you can log in without actually having to. You can access your support And we can get back into that a little later. Okay. Now, at this point here, what's really important to understand is we want to talk about two global trends. Very, very important to keep in mind. Let's talk about the first one, Tammy.
Yeah, you can see almost 15 billion smartphones in the world today. And what is everybody doing? They're filling up their devices. We all know it. We're all getting messages because we're filling up our devices. And it's going to be even faster and more over the next 2 to 5 years. So that's why this opportunity is huge for every single one of us that are catching it on the wave, right?
I totally agree, Tammy. And if you look at the stats here, folks, from 2011 to 2023, I know it's a bit of an older slide, but you can see the trend here from 6% to 60%. Let's look at a slide that's a bit more up to date. You're looking here from 2022 to 2030. These are revenues from 2022, 90 billion. In 2030, folks, close to $500 billion in revenue. Again, these are indicators that is a really this is a good space for you to consider doing business into. Cloud storage, folks, is the new oil. Let's talk about the cell phone addiction.
Yeah, we're calling it cell phone addiction, but the truth is you can do anything on your device today. Chris and I use it for alarm. We use it to keep an eye on our properties. We use it to tap. I'm sure every one of you are doing the same thing, tapping to do your purchases. We're using it for everything, even date night. And honestly, I always say to people, it's okay to have your phone on date night in case you have an emergency, you got kids and stuff like that. You take a selfie, do a video, whatever. But really, you don't want to be on your phone during a date night.
Yeah, I mean, we still give each other warnings sometimes. It's actually funny. But folks, because of all of that, there is a growing concern with data loss, right? I mean, 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phones or lost their data. But folks, think about it. This device here contains all your pictures, maybe decades of pictures. And if this is the only place that you have where your data, your precious soul taken pictures are resting, and it's not backed up anywhere, folks, this is playing with fire. You need a cloud storage. And it's so inexpensive. We'll tell you all about this in a minute. Over 5,500 screens are cracked every hour. Laptop, cell phones stolen every 43 seconds.
Yeah, I remember, Chris, when we were traveling, because we do a lot of international traveling over the years, and whether we were in Africa or we were in Asia or wherever
my phone was stolen. Is that the story you want to share?
No, I was going to share that, sometimes when we're doing all these group pictures after an event, somebody's phone is full, so they couldn't take any more pictures, right? So they say, hey, can you take a picture on your phone and send it to us? I mean, you have a whole bunch of people doing that. That's why this is so important. And how many times have we had this message that your storage is full? I know having conversations with people is really easy because people are getting these messages. So if you're already in the company, don't be afraid to talk to people because they're getting these messages. And Absolutely. What do they need to do? They need to increase their payout, or they got to start removing stuff because everything's full.
I totally agree, Tammy. And the second trend here, folks, is making more money. We know there's a shift in our economy. We know there's changes, folks. But at the end of the day, where there's challenges and changes, it's always an opportunity to evolve and improve. And it's exactly what I'm seeing. And folks, 42% of Americans have side businesses. 62% of Gen Z, 18 to 25 folks, have side businesses. My kids have side businesses. What about the rest of the world? This is where we are in right now. It's an era where people are looking, and because of the social media and everything that's available to you, you can actually really make a good living. And this is why we're introducing you to GotBackup. You can leverage from this opportunity to take advantage of these global trends that are really, really growing fast. Let's talk about our product, Emmy.
Yeah, so with the core product, you get 6 terabytes of data storage. And with your account, you can add 5 additional members. Each one have their own password, their own login, and you can choose how much storage you want to give that person. So unlimited devices. So when I saw this, I saw, oh my gosh, so many families need these packages. How many kids today, people who have kids that have devices, right? So all of this for $10 a month. And what was really exciting for Chris and I, because we've been in the home-based business for many, many, many years, this is a home-based business opportunity.
I totally agree, Tammy. And folks, if you look at our competitors, the big three here, we have iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive, all within $10 a month. If I may just round it off, 2 terabytes within the same amount of users. GotBackup is $9.97, folks, for 3 times the data. So this is monthly. I prefer yearly. One is you're saving 2 months. So you're looking at, again, iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive, 360, 660, and 216. And again, don't quote me an exact amount because things might change right now, but it's just to show you the difference where GotBackup is 6 terabytes for just under $100. Okay, so, and there's so much more, folks. This is so much more than a cloud storage, and we'll kind of share that with you as we progress with this presentation. So let's carry on, Tammy, and kind of summarize what people get for the $9.97 per month.
Okay, so you get 6 terabytes of storage for $9.97 a month. You can take it yearly if you want. It includes up to 6 people on one account, any device you're using. And of course, you saw the automatic backups. You got a chance to see the video. And anybody who introduced you to tonight's session can certainly share some of these videos with you if you missed them. So you can see here, there's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. But honestly, once you're all set up, who would want to cancel their account and pay more money for another service? I don't know anybody who'd want to do that.
I totally agree. And by the way, Victoria, you can actually share this link. Whatever link that you clicked on to be here, you can share that same link because it is automatically recorded. It's a really nice system. Now, folks, let me here show you a little video on how to install this on your portable device, on your cell phone. And again, folks, what's really cool is once you do that, when you take pictures and you confirm that they are on the cloud, you can remove them from your phone if your phone is full, okay? Because your pictures are there and you can get them back if you need them on your phone for whatever reason. So let's watch that video.
Quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool. And then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
Folks, it's just amazing how simple things are once you get a better understanding of how to install the two apps. And we'll cover the computer app in a minute here. Folks, these are very powerful tools. Now we want to shift gear a little bit, because some people are saying, well, why should I consider GotBackup opposed to Dropbox or any other services? And it's not that we're better than everybody else, but here's what they offer. They offer an opportunity. This is the only cloud storage service that will pay you. So making money with GotBackup is absolutely awesome. So Tammy, let's cover a little bit on how does this work. Now, we're just going to go on the surface here, folks. We're not going to go a detailed training. But as a matter of fact, this coming Saturday, I want to talk about the compensation plan so we can highlight what you guys should be focusing on in building your business. So Tammy, let's go ahead and share what the 7 ways are.
Yeah, so basically, Chris really said it right there. The highlight are the first 3 segments that are highlighted here, because there's 7 ways that you can earn, but the basic foundation is done in the first 3. So let's go on to the next slide.
Sure.
So the customer acquisition bonus, that is CAB for short, and this is when you talk to somebody and they want to become a member, and they can either pay for the $9.97 monthly, or they can pay it yearly. If they pay monthly, the company's going to give you 200% up front. So that's pretty powerful. And you're not limited to the amount of people that you bring in. 50% for if they decide they want to do it for the year, and 25% for any VIP packages or any packages that they're going to be rolling out. And they'll be rolling out a lot of stuff in the future, because this is powerful. It's huge what we can do online, and there's so many online marketing tools. 25%, that's when you build out a customer base, and every single time a customer signs up, you're going to get 25% and ongoing. So let me just make a couple examples, Chris, just to keep it really simple. So let's say you had 20 people that want to be members, 200%. If they did the $9.97, let's round it off, $10, you're going to get $20 because it's 200%, and times 20 people, you're going to get $400 in commission. And again, I mentioned you're not limited the amount of people you can bring in. So if you do the same example for customers, 25%, that's $2.50 on a $10 monthly fee. You're going to, out of 20 customers, you're going to have $50 ongoing every single month. So it's really exciting what Joel has laid out for all of us.
Absolutely. And folks, the second portion I'm going to talk about, the second way we earn is what we call cycle earning. And to get a better understanding of the cycle earning, let's just get an understanding on the fact that we have a 2-team system, a 2-team tree, I should call it. There's a right side and a left side. If let's say you have 10 people to introduce to the business, well, you'll introduce 5 on one side and 5 on the other. As you can see here, indirect referral, that's someone that's above you, that's sharing the same leg as you. Just as you're sharing the direct underneath the indirect referral, that's you that will also benefit the indirect referral that you don't really know of. That's the power of building 2-tree. Now, let's talk about the cycle bonus. There are 2 tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. So tier 2, again, what's the difference between the two is there's more money on tier 2 and tier 1. How you get to more money? It's based on your rank. Okay. So let's talk about step number 1 is you need to remain active, just like you're using your services, like, for example, Netflix, Amazon Prime, I don't know, Disney Plus, whatever you might be paying on a monthly basis, just like this, to remain active, to have access to your data. And once folks have put their data on the cloud, they don't want to part with that. They want to keep that. That's why it's so important to make sure that the people you enroll are using the service. Number 2 is you need to enroll 2 people, one on your left team and one on your right team. It's as simple as that. Number 3, it's what we call cycle bonus. Now, the cycle bonus triggers when there's 6 members. Remember, 2 of them has to come from your personal enrollment, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, depending on what you're looking at here. So the moment there is 4, where there's 4 on one side and 2, so ratio 4:2, that's when the trigger, that's when the cycle is triggered. And the cycle value will be based on the company's profitability and also on your rank. And I'll come back to that in a minute. My question to you here is, how many cycles do you want? Do you want 100 cycles, 10,000 cycles, 20,000 cycles? Folks, as this grows, think of Dropbox, who has 700 million users. Do the math as this mature, folks. Data is the new oil. Those of you that are serious here can really tap into a great income stream here. So let's carry on. Number 3, this is really serious, because every time you introduce someone to GotBackup, they're also going to cycle. And here's how this works. You have what we call a cycle match. So every time you introduce someone to GotBackup, whatever they've cycled, then you have a percentage. But this starts when you're a Sapphire. Okay. And Saturday, I'll talk about all of this so you have a better understanding on the compensation plan. Sapphire is basically you're earning 25%. For example, if let's say you sponsor Tammy or sponsor me or any one of you here, and you have cycle at least 100 times, well, that for you will be 25 cycle that will be added on to what you've earned in your own cycle, right? So it compounds. You can earn up to $1,000 here based on the person you've enrolled and how many cycle they've made. Now, let's say the person is cycling, 700 times. Well, understand that if you have 25%, you can only make $1,000. That you can't go beyond that. So what happens here is, for you to get more, you have to move up to an emerald. And to move up to an emerald, that means you're helping a couple more people to reach copper. And I'll come back to you in a moment here. But look here, from $1,000 to $20,000. This, I'm not saying you're going to make this here, folks. What I'm saying is this is a ladder of success. Every time you sponsor someone, based on how many cycles they've earned, you can earn a matching cycle on that. It's absolutely massive, the potential that you have here. And of course, you got 4, 5, 6, and 7. Generation bonus, I just want to touch on that, because some of you have said, well, I've seen where I have a very big team on one side and I don't have much of a big team on the other. You can benefit from the big side, because we receive generation bonus. Every time there's someone active with their $10, it brings you 2.5%. It may not seem like a lot, but once you start compounding people and how big this could become, it's another amount that will compound to your total amount that you earn with GotBackup. Number 5 is just like number 4, but you go deeper in the tree as you move up in rank. Number 6 is rank pool. When you reach certain ranks, you start getting a bonus just for reaching that rank and maintaining that rank. And of course, you get into a leadership role and bonuses as this grows. So Tammy, let's summarize here. How can we duplicate that for folks?
Yeah. So once you sign up, the first goal is to get your first 2 people, and one on the left, one on the right. And you go and do the same thing. That's number 3, register 2 more, one left, one right, and just duplicate that. And one thing that Chris and I have noticed over the years in building our successes for many, many years is the simpler you create a system, the simpler the system, the more duplicatable. As we all know, everybody is so busy in today's world, everybody. And if you give people too many tasks, then they probably won't follow through. You're going to have a very small percentage that will, but the majority, they need simple, and this is what it's all about.
Absolutely agree, Tammy. So here's the thing here, folks. Sorry. Why don't we tell them how much?
So it's $20. That's an annual fee to become a member, to earn. And then whoever you sign, or whatever you do, you can sign up monthly or yearly. You decide, right? And like Chris mentioned, with the $99.97, you're actually saving a couple months worth of payments. So there's no advantage to the year, other than you just save a little bit of money for a couple months.
Carry on.
Oh my goodness, this is new, Chris. The last time we did a presentation last week, there was 154 countries. Now we're up to 156, which is absolutely massive. We've been in the industry for a long time. We've never been part of anything that offers this many countries to do business, and to be at home, to really leverage the online platform and your social network, because your social network, if you look at your neighborhood, there's many countries represented in your neighborhood, which is really cool. And you can really tap into the global market.
Folks, I'm telling you, don't fall asleep at the wheel here. People are using this service because it's inexpensive and it's very, very useful. And also, it provides an income opportunity. Now, folks, let's recognize some of the achievements, because, babies cry for it and adults die for it, folks, is recognition. But with the recognition, you remember earlier I was telling you about you need to have a certain rank to get certain things? Well, first of all, a bronze is when you sponsor one person in GotBackup. A copper, if you're asking, okay, what do I need to do? Tammy talked about the steps. You need to introduce one person on your left, one person on your right. This is when you've done that, you are considered a copper in GotBackup. And if every time someone comes into GotBackup does exactly the same step, is qualified to become copper, what's going to happen is by default, you are duplicating the building block that will take you all the way up to black diamond. I am not kidding, folks. This is exactly how Tammy have been very successful in this business. We don't focus on the big whales. We focus on the common folks like ourselves, and duplicating the simple steps. Over time, things compound and becomes massive over time. As a silver, that means that someone you sponsored became copper. Okay. Now, or it could be someone that maybe they sponsored that came from your sponsorship, maybe not personal to you, but someone that they brought in become copper, also counts for you. As a goal, folks, that's when it becomes interesting, right? When I talked about you get the 25% from the $10 from everybody that is into your business, right? And there's certain conditions there, but as a goal, that means you sponsored 5 people in the business, and out of that, 3 of them became copper. Doesn't even have to be someone you brought in. It could be someone that they brought in. Okay. And you need a total of 25 folks in your business, which again, it's combined from the combined effort of the team. Now, from there, your goal as a platinum. Now, here's what's really important. Okay. Remember, for a gold, you say you needed 3 copper. Well, as a platinum, you need 4 copper. It's not the end of the world here, folks. And also, you need to have 40 people in your team. So that means people are duplicating the concept. But here's what's important. You remember when I was telling you about cycles? Tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 2, you make more than double than tier 1. That occurs when you become a platinum. You guys get that? And as a sapphire, you remember when I talk about the matching cycle? Well, now you have another copper. So instead of 4, you got 5 people that actually have qualified. Okay. And then from there, you have about 50 people, I think, around in your team. And now you're a sapphire. Folks, this is where it becomes interesting. And as you move up in rank, the plan starts opening up to you, and all these bonuses starts kicking in. That's where it becomes very, very, very interesting. Let's talk about the support that we provide. For example, the Saturday call we're doing.
Yeah, so you have your personalized referral link. I know, Victor, I don't know if you're an existing member, but if you are, you can go right to the YouTube channel, and you're going to be able to leverage that video of this session tonight and share your referral link. You're going to have personalized landing page. You're going to have an email marketing system, marketing tools, and they're always adding new tools and videos that you can use and leverage through the social platforms on social media. You've got regular online presentations. We're helping the company doing Wednesday night presentations. There's other leaders that are helping for the company presentations. There's team presentations in different languages around the world. So there's a lot available for you to tap into and leverage. And there's team trainings and support. The person who brings you in will plug you into everything that's available. Chris mentioned that we're doing trainings on Saturdays. So we're there to support anybody who shows up and wants to learn how to build this business model, and of course, how to use the service, how to really benefit from what you have in your hands.
I totally agree with this, Tammy. And folks, listen, this is a product that everyone needs. It's a business that everyone can afford. That's why it is such a wonderful opportunity. There's many things you might be doing right now, but again, if you have an account with Dropbox, Well, might as well have an account with GotBackup and get paid for telling others about it. That's how amazing that is. Folks, if you are looking at this for the very first time this evening, go to gotbackuplive.com. The system will recognize you. Okay. So, for example, when you clicked on the link that was provided to you by your upline for tonight, and I'll show you exactly where these are in a minute. Okay. Then, as the person signs up, the system will recognize that this link came from you, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. So gotbackuplive.com. Go there right now, folks. Sign up right now. Let's get started. Show up on Saturday. This Saturday, I'm going to show you how to earn an income. Absolutely amazing. Now, let me shift gear a little bit here, folks, because I'd love for you to see. Let me just remove this for a moment. And I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see how this looks like on the back end. So once you are a member, this is your back office. Okay. So you have your rank here. I'm going to look in here because I have a couple monitors here. So this is your position. And by the way, if you need support, you click on this link called support. See, you see it just turn white. When you click on that, you can create a ticket. Now they're not going to email you back. You have to come back into your account and you have to click on a ticket for you to be able to see the response. And it'll tell you that there's a ticket for you to monitor with the response. Just want to mention that. The other thing I wanted to mention that's very important is use this tool. Very important. There's two things you want to teach people when they come in. Number one is install the software, and it's completely self-efficient. So if you click on this link, it will take you to this page. I did it in advance so we don't waste too much time waiting for the response. And then from there, you can see I'm using 56% of my cloud. These here are what you click on to download on Windows platform or a Mac platform. And the videos here will explain to you exactly how this works. For example, I have mine installed over here. You can see the little keychain here, okay, or the keyhole. I click on that. That here is my the software that's running in the background. You can see right now that we are on April 9th at 8:37, and the last backup was done at 7:17 this evening. You can see right now it's preparing another one right now. It's like an incremental backup, and it keeps tab of everything. I'll show you where this is stored in a minute. Okay, this is absolutely awesome. Okay,
and so right here you can add new members, Chris, on the mid right. You can just
yeah, for example, let's say you have some family members you want to share because you may not need that much space. You can see it said 7 for me because I bought a couple more. I bought another terabyte. So from there, if you click on this additional members, you can actually determine how much space you want to give them from what you have. You can see right now that little orange is growing based on how much I'm trying to allow. And then you click add member, and it's going to just follow the instructions. It's going to prompt you for what you need, the name, the email, so they can receive the invitation. They're going to have their own ID, their own password. You can't see what they backed up because that section is going to be private to them. And it's all part of our training, folks. It's all there. Another thing that's really cool here, if you click on auto login, okay, what happens is it takes me right to my cloud. Okay, you can actually type in on the address bar gbucloud.com over here. It'll take you right to your cloud. It may prompt you for your password, but once you put your password, it won't ask you again. You can see here that these are my computers. I have 3 computers that are backed up. Okay, right now, show your files. You won't see that button. That's something that's brand new. But just to show you is when you click on that very soon, it's going to show you the files that are. As you can see, this is my computer backup. Can see here, this is my stuff, and this is the root directory of my backup. And as I dig into all these directories, it shows you what's in there. Okay, absolutely awesome. Here's another thing that's really cool. I backed up my cell phone. So this is my cell phone over here. You can see all the pictures are here from all the previous years. If I go back to 2024, just to show you the complete year from January to December. I'm not getting into it because, folks, sometimes I take pictures of my bills because I do everything electronic with my accountant. So, but the fact here is you can see here from January to December. Okay, you can see here 2025. For those of you who've been following our presentation, you notice that at one point it was only January, February, and it was January, February, and March, and now we're April. Okay, so I can see in April, I took some invoices here, but so I take my pictures and it's all there. It's very, very, very well organized. Now, the other thing too, when you go to the collaborate and share, folks, all of that is for $9.97. Okay, for example, I can turn around and I want to give you just a quick little demo because I think it's nice for you to see that. Okay, so from there, if I go to my local drive, And let's see here. I'm going to go to my local drive. There we go. Okay, and let's say there's a file that could be a directory, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to drag that file right into the cloud window. See what's going on? It's bringing it up right away. Boom, it's there right now. And within a few seconds, you're going to see the file will appear right here as you just saw. So if I click on that, I can turn around and I can collaborate and share this with you. I can take this link and I can actually get the link, share that with you, and you and I can actually view what's in here, right? And as I do changes over here, for example, if I make that yellow, you can actually see the change in real time. So it's really, really awesome how this all work here, folks. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to get out of that. And I'm going to get rid of this because I don't like anything in my root directory. So I'm just going to remove it. It's just for me to show you guys how simple it is to collaborate and share. So this is how the system works. Now, from there, folks, I'm going to come back to what's available with You Got Backup. There's also the reseller tools. Okay. Now, the reseller tools, this, I believe I have it right here. Some of you are asking, well, the presentation that's taking place right now. Well, if you send this, use this link to invite prospect to your live to our live webinar. This link over here, if you share this link, okay, Victor, if you share this link, then what happens, it will send it. But the thing is that this link changes on a regular basis. If you want to make sure that you like this particular presentation tonight, just take the link that I provided here, which is a direct YouTube link, which, by the way, you can also access. Okay, so if you go to the YouTube channel over here, and then you click on the channel of GotBackup, you will find. So let's just look right now for GotBackup, and okay, right over here, global virtual opportunities. You can see I've been there before, so I'm going to click on that. Okay, and let me take you right there. I'm going to share that link with all of you so you are aware. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to take that link, and this is where everything is stored. So I'm going to put this right now into the comments so you can see it. Okay, so you can see right now we're having a live session as we speak. There's playlists with a lot of information here. So I'm going to go back to, again, the tools. I think it was right over here. Yeah. Okay, so that's the link to prepare for a presentation. Now, if let's say you want to do some Facebook ads, you can use these links over here. If let's say you want someone to try it for 7 days for free, this is really cool because when you click on this link over here, then they will have a great video, introduce them to the product, and then they click on that and you see there's no credit card requirements. And from there, once they fill that in, they will have access to their back office, obviously a much lighter version of that, but they will have access to the tools like this to download the software for their phone and their computer and actually put it to the test before they buy into it for 7 days. And folks, it goes way beyond that. You see here the lead capture system. I'm not going to get into this today. This here is where you can communicate with everybody that says, I want more information. All these links that I share with you here over here that is included will gather the information of your prospect. Okay. These are the tools that are embedded for your $9.97. You do not need to spend more money anywhere else to build your GotBackup business. And it goes way beyond that. And we'll be talking in the future about VIP coaching to help you evolve, build a business and everything else. Lots and lots and lots of things coming in here, folks. So in conclusion, there's so many things over here. You have your business information. And here's what's really important here is your social media, the Telegram group, the Facebook group. These are groups where you can collaborate with other members and ask some questions and collaborate and so forth. So at the end of the day, Tammy and I are having an absolute blast with GotBackup. We're making a full-time living building with GotBackup. And folks, I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth it. Don't lose faith on this industry and this opportunity because things may not go exactly you want it at the moment. You just need to understand the process. This is a service that everyone needs. Everyone needs a price point that everyone can afford. And remember, Dropbox didn't become 700 million users in 1 year. It took them 15 years to get there. Do you understand? We've been in business for 2. We are just a small little pond that is growing. And I'm telling you folks that when we hit momentum, get ready for rain because we are going to run with this. So Tammy, I'm going to let you finish. And thank you, everybody, for attending this evening.
It's all about timing, you guys. It's about getting in front of the trend, getting in front of that wave and ride that wave. And that's what Chris and I are doing. And some of you who have joined us that are already existing members, you know what we're talking about. It's exciting and it's growing regularly. And yeah, so if you're made the decision to hop on board, we just want to say welcome and plug into the group so we can welcome you to the groups.
Absolutely awesome. So at this point, folks, have a great rest of your evening. And here's the link again, GotBackupLive.com. Go in there, folks. Get started right now, and let's make some money together. Have yourself.
And if you like today's presentation, make sure you click the like button.
Yes. I keep forgetting. If you like the presentation, folks, just give us some love. Just hit the like button here. Yeah. The algorithm will show it more, and it just educate more people about our opportunity. Have yourself a great evening and a wonderful week. And we'll see you on Friday morning. Tammy doing a presentation every Friday at 11 o'clock. It's a different channel, but we do promote it into the Telegram group and emails and so forth. You're very welcome to join in. It's a very similar presentation. And Saturday, we're going to be doing a training, and we're going to be highlighting the elements, the important parts of the compensation plan for you to focus on to make money with GotBackup. Have yourself a great rest of the evening. Bye for now.
Have a good evening.